Welcome yet again to yet another episode of the Beard Al Podcast, the podcast about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And you'll notice there was no can crack because today's episode is not about beer at all. It's about Weird Al. So there, you have that going for you. I am Lauren. I am here all the time, and my lovely husband has, deigned to join me once again on this beautiful podcast. Hello, husband.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
That's Russ, for those of you who don't know. If you're a first-time listener, what a weird episode to start with. I don't know. Just seems odd.
What? Why is this?
I don't know.
I'm confused.
It just seems like a random episode to start with if you're listening to the show for the first time ever.
Okay.
We're not, it's not the beginning of a series. It's not the beginning of the show. It's just like, I'm going to pick that one. I like Stuck in a Closet with Vanna White. And if that's you, hello, welcome.
Right. Okay. That's fair.
I don't know.
What if it's just a really rabid Vanna White fan?
Well, then welcome. I also, too, am a really rabid Vanna White fan.
Or a person who has themselves been having reoccurring dreams about being stuck in a closet with Vanna White.
Well, then, boy, is this ever the episode for you?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're here for that. For those of you keeping score, this is the second episode in our Even Worse series where things get even worse than they ever have been here before. And we're talking about track 2 on Even Worse, which is the aforementioned Stuck in a Closet with Vanna White, which is not a parody of anything, and it's not even really a direct style parody of anything in particular. Correct?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'll tell you what, and we'll get into this later, it's a really solid rock song.
It sure enough is. Sure is. So yeah, I just want to kick this off essentially by, pointing out that Stuck in a Closet with Vanna White is, in my opinion, pretty quintessential Weird Al stuff. Meaning, it's super weird, super random, kind of dark, and it hits on a lot of pop culture things with really, really solid music.
Yeah, I mean, this is way oversimplifying it for now because we're going to go through a bunch of points. But I mean, it's a really fantastic cut, and I'm going to touch on this a lot throughout the episode. I mean, it's a really solid rock song.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for those of you who may not be familiar, again, what are you doing? But in the interest of doing my due diligence, the premise of the song is the narrator is having a recurring dream about being stuck in a closet with hostess of Wheel of Fortune, Vanna White, who I feel like when this song came out in 1988, now we are in the year 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody think that Vanna White would still be doing the thing that she was doing in 1988 still?
I mean, I don't know that I would have predicted that she was or that she would be, but I also don't know why I would have told you she wouldn't be.
No, that's super fair. Now, I'm coming from the vantage point of somebody who I may or may not have mentioned this on the show before, but I wrote my master's thesis about TV game shows.
I see.
So I'm just thinking around other women in game shows at that time and doing what Vanna White was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about the models on The Price is Right, or the models on Card Sharks, or anybody, the lovely assistant on insert game show here. None of them are still doing the same thing.
Okay, well, first of all, I think the only game show, I don't know, for lack of a better term, I don't know, what would you, a sidekick or?
Sure, yeah.
I think the only ones that are even in the discussion with Vanna White as far as iconic, unless there's somebody I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, are Barker's Beauties.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just said, the models on Card Sharks or whatever else. And this is way dating myself, but even when I was a kid, people knew Kathy Lee Gifford from Name That Tune.
Sure, yeah.
Like way before anything else, you know? But like people only knew Kathy Lee Gifford from Name That Tune when she went on to like much bigger deal. Like when she went on to host Live with Regis and Kathy, like it was more like and she did that before, and that's why people knew it. Like it wasn't like she was a known thing on that show when it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and my point is that everyone who's ever been a sidekick on a game show, aside from Barker's Beauties, is 1,000% forgettable and was swapped out all of the time. Like,
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone from any other game show who was like a known thing outside of the host of the game show. And then circling back to Barker's Beauties, like it was the same three for like 1,000 years.
Yeah. And I mean, even now, like you've got Rachel Reynolds, who I believe has been doing it for almost 25 years, I want to say.
Right.
You know, so
that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. I know, and I would never poke fun at what anyone is like aspirations anyone has, but I know that like Vanna White had acting aspirations and like what basically amounted to like B movies and made for TV movies and whatnot. But like point being, your question was at this time in 1988, would I have told you like, and I don't think anything she had done outside of Wheel of Fortune would have ever had me be like, oh, well, no, because she's going to go on to
do something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I don't think, if you had asked whatever 13-year-old me at the time, like, is she still going to be doing that in 2026? I don't think I would have been like, yes, absolutely, and put money on it. But if you would have been like, well, what else do you think she's going to do? I would have been like, I don't know.
Yeah, what else could she possibly?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and actually, to tie it all together, did you know that Vanna White was a contestant on The Price is Right?
I think I did know that somewhere along the way.
I just think that's super fun. It was like right before she got the Wheel of Fortune gig, she was a contestant. She made it to Contestants Row and everything. So I think that's
Neat.
super cool. Yeah, so I just felt like we needed to kick it off with like laying the groundwork for where Vanna White kind of is. So yeah, and then do you want to talk about the music of it all first? Because you keep talking about how this is such a solid rock song, and then we can kind of go lyrical. Or do you want to go lyrics first?
Yeah, I mean, like when obviously, well, first of all, when I was a kid, I'm gonna run out and buy the new Weird Al album, like always. And then, with it being focused on fat and bad and the artwork of it all, like it looking just like the bad LP. Anyways, like I'm gonna run out and buy the record anyways. But I have a very distinct memory of being in the car on the way home with Even Worse, and like that riff starting and just being like, hell yeah. Like as soon as it kicked in, like it's a really, really solid rock song. And like, I keep feeling like I shouldn't skip ahead.
You can do whatever you want.
Well, no, but I'm going to say this probably 50 times in this episode. Like you can, if you tweak the lyrics of this song just a little bit, and not even have someone else perform it, just release it under someone else's name.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge hit for anyone in that year.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean,
like I will die on that hill.
And I feel like you should. I mean, also, I like that you said like not tweak the lyrics all the way, right? Just a little bit.
Like especially in that year,
because there was a lot of goofy things that
And it's not even like, the thing is, there's a lot of Weird Al songs that the humor is derived in like taking like, okay, so you take off of the same record, you take Good Old Days, right? Good Old Days is taking, and we'll get there, but Good Old Days is taking like the super wholesome folk song, the James Taylor of it all, and then putting that twist on it, right? So you could never be like, oh, well, you know, like somebody could have had a really big folk hit with that. Cause like, no, right. This song, there's no need to like go, oh, well, you'd have to, you know, really rework it because it's a song about having like reoccurring dreams, and dreams don't make any sense. Right.
Right.
So like anything that's in it, like based on the premise alone, it writes its own law.
Ooh.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, so you can't just like anybody who is going to perform the song. Like if you say, okay, this song is about, okay, I'm going to go, this is going to be wildly out there. So there's a Cure song that I love. It might be my favorite Cure song. There's a song that I love by the Cure called Lullaby. And like it's about a reoccurring bad dream about a spider that's going to eat him.
Mm-hmm.
And like, same thing, like if Weird Al had made that song, people would be like, ah, like, but when in the hands of the Cure though, everybody's all like, oh man, oh, serious goth song about, you know, reoccurring bad dream. Right. Like, but if Weird Al had made it, people would be like, nah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Very much considered the source.
Like,
yeah.
if like, and I know before anybody's like, yeah, but they weren't out yet. But like, if like Ugly Kid Joe or like, you know, Poison or somebody who's like seen as not like, you know, I consider a little more serious band to be like, of the time to be like, Cinderella or
totally
Tesla or Guns N' Roses. Right. Like, I don't think those three folks could have put this song out, but like, again, and I realized they weren't, they hadn't put out their first record yet, so calm down. But like Ugly Kid Joe or Poison, like somebody like that could have put this out and just been like, this is a song about a reoccurring dream, like with the lyrics as is, you know? And, and like for anyone else, and I cannot stress enough, I will die on this hill. This is a lead single off of anyone else's album in 1988.
Yes. And I mean, I think in large part for me anyway, it's due to that, the guitar riff.
The riff is killer.
Just so solid.
Mm-hmm.
So solid.
The structure of the song, like when the riff kicks in and then it's just, I mean, and I've told you this before, and I'm certain I will labor this point heavily when we get to that LP as well. But there's a handful of Weird Al songs that I feel this very strongly about, and the title cut from UHF is one of them as well.
Oh yeah,
I'm convinced that could be a hit for anyone else.
I mean, and that's we'll get to that song when we get to that song, but those aren't even novelty lyrics.
No,
you
I know
that song, right? But I like
and
what
UHF,
you're saying.
by the way, was way closer to when Ugly Kid Joe. Plus, he kind of sounds like Whitfield Crane.
Sure,
on that, like that, absolutely could have been a Ugly Kid Joe hit.
So, the Stuck in a Closet with Vanna White, and I like what you were getting at with that. With Lullaby by The Cure, I think that's a very astute connection that you made there, because like this particular song, because you're right, dreams make no sense. There are no rules to dreams. Dreams, like you said, make their own laws. You know, this song very much feels like somebody having like a lot of like anxious dreams. Mm-hmm. And they just happened to maybe, Wheel of Fortune was the last thing they saw before they fell asleep. And that's why she's the recurring thing, you know, like she's just part of this whole like super.
And like none of the rest of it makes sense. And who knows why.
Right. None of the rest makes sense. Like there's so much in this lyrically that makes you go like, there are so many dream tropes all throughout this. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm going shopping in my underwear, like being somewhere in your underwear where you're not supposed to be in your underwear, like that's right. A big dream.
Yeah,
trope.
And that's what's funny is there's so many things in it that could be identifiable.
Mm-hmm. There's so much. There is so much in here, right?
And there's a lot of things that are like very common in like the study of dreams. Yeah,
I mean, we're in that not even out of the first verse, and he ends it with donuts and hot dogs are flying everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's like.
I think that's got that, and the self-service pumps has to be the most overtly sexual lyrics in Al.
Yeah, and
right?
yeah, for sure. And like you got to get that, like, oh, so you're dreaming about donuts and hot dogs. This
Right,
is very
right,
Sigma,
yeah.
right? You know, so I just think that's fantastic. But you know, the time like with the Russian spies, and you know, then he's fallen down a hole. And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, once you're at the bottom of the hole, you're stuck in the closet with Vanna White again. You know, and I think there's something to that whole stuck in a closet bit about it too. It's not like I'm just here with Vanna White, or like I'm in a room with Vanna White, or I'm in a field of daisies with Vanna White. It's like I'm stuck in a closet with Vanna White.
Yeah, that's like an involuntary.
Like you're trapped there.
Yeah, and I also, one thing that I didn't even notice about the song until, geez, like a decade later, is there's no detail about Vanna White. Like, she's not doing anything to him. Like, she's not a problem. She's not an aggressor. She's just there.
Right. And he even says that, you know, well, Vanna, since you're here, why don't you let me buy a vowel from you? It's like she's not involved with the rest of it.
But she's not even doing anything wrong.
Right. She's just in the closet.
But like all the things that he lists, she's just one of the things that's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's where he always ends up.
Right. Yeah. But also, like, all of those, like, the song could have been titled by of any of those other things, because he's listing off everything that happens in the dream. Because he says, when he starts the song, he says, every night I have the strangest dream. And then he lists everything that happens.
Yeah.
So
is Vanna White the only constant in the dream?
no, he tells you at the beginning, I have the strangest, every night I have the strangest dream. And then he tells you everything that happens in the dream. I think the idea is that all of these things happen in the dream every night.
And he keeps getting back to
and the thing is, like, almost everything in there could be taken as things that are like, could be harmful or fearful. And she's the only thing that's just there.
Oh, she's like, geez, like Vanna.
You don't know.
You don't know
if she's
the safe space or not.
You don't know. She's just there. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And isn't that what Vanna White does in the first place? She's just there.
No, she has a job and everything. She talks to Pat before they get into the seriousness of the game. She turns all the letters. She applauds for people. She looks disappointed on behalf of the contestants. She cheers with the contestants. She has a very serious job, and I will appreciate it if you will give her some credit for what she does.
Okay. That's true. I mean,
but apparently in this dreamscape, she does none of that, or he would mention it, because he is very detailed on what happens with a lot of other things in the dream. Except that's my thing. Like, this literally hit me like a decade after this song came out, that like, she's just there.
So you're sitting there in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm. It would have been like 98 or 99 when it hit me.
Going like, hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Vanna White hasn't done anything in this song other than be there in the closet.
Yep.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah. So like, she's not, and that in of itself, it could be ominous.
It is ominous.
That's the thing. It's open to interpretation.
Like most
maybe
dreams
she's
are.
standing there protecting him, or maybe she's just standing there, not stopping anything bad from happening.
Oh
to
no,
him.
You're naked in church again. Vanna White.
You know what I mean?
Says,
like, it's just like, she's one of the things that's there, but also like the other, like, so he's being followed by the Russian spies, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's other things that are like inanimate objects or and other things, right?
Yep.
But like, she's the only personality or human thing that there's no intent put to.
That's true, because the Russian spies are following him. The midget pushes him through a revolving door.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. The Russian spies.
This literally, I'm not kidding you. I was in the parking lot of the Best Buy in Waterford, Michigan,
Mm.
when I figured this out.
I think that's great.
I was at the end of the song when he got to the I fall down a hole, and that's when I realized I'm stuck in the closet with Vanna White.
Yeah, but I guess you know the rest.
And I got, and I was like, wait a minute. And I started the song over and listened to the whole thing again. And I got like back to that same part. And I was like, she doesn't do anything. She's just there. But everything else does something to him.
This conversation is making me want to go back to college and write a whole entire like literary thesis about the neutrality of Vanna White in this song. You know,
And just in this song.
and what that means in dreams.
Sure.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is one of those things I've told you about many times. I think certainly in our real life, and I think I've mentioned it on the show a few times. I mean, who even knows how much of the show Weird Al's ever heard, but I sometimes wonder if he ever hears any of this, if he's either like, yeah, wow, like, holy cow, that's what I can't believe somebody got that. Or if he hears it and he's like, what a nut job. Like speaking about like me or you. Like, holy cow, why would you think that hard on this?
Like,
you know what I mean?
Well, like for sure. And so.
Which, by the way, either is a valid thought.
Totally valid thought. Like for instance, in the first verse, right? My lips fall off and everybody starts to stare.
I looked into that once. I want to hear what you have to say, but I looked into that once.
So in my mind, the hibachi dealer from Everything You Know Is Wrong is the person having this dream.
Oh, you've told me this before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no,
because of the lips.
Yeah, but sometime in the early 2000s, because I didn't want to buy a dream book just for this, I went online and I looked up a bunch of dream interpretation stuff. Because like you said, the donuts and hot dogs is like,
Yeah.
But I looked up dream interpretations for a bunch of things in the song just to see what the common ones were.
Sure.
And the lips falling off is supposed to be the indication of a person who lies a lot.
Oh.
So and this is 25 years ago now, but I just remember that one. And so I remember looking that up online and just being like, just thinking like, I wonder if maybe he did that, if he looked up like a bunch of like use a dream book to like look up certain things to see like what would all tell a story of a certain person.
Yeah. Actually, we're going to do a fun little exercise when we come back from break, because I just asked our good friend Artificial Intelligence to interpret parts of the dream in this song.
I think it's smart that you start referring to it as our friend now.
Yeah.
No, like get ahead of the curve.
No, I am way ahead of the curve. I, for one, what's that Ken Jennings quote? I, for one, embrace our robot overlords, or respect our robot overlords. Either way. Anyway, I feel like this is a good time.
Personally, I think Ken Jennings is one of our robot overlords.
Maybe he is. But I think this is a good time for us to make sure we throw it to commercial break, and we'll come back and talk about some dream symbolism and some more of the music and whatnot in this song. So enjoy.
Okay, bye.
And we're back. We're so back. Better the cat, get back in that cat. Ranjit. Anyway, we're back. And as I said before we went to break over there, I asked our friends over at Ye Old Artificial Intelligence Corp to interpret the dreams in this song. And actually, I basically gave it the prompt. I pasted the lyrics in and I said, interpret this dream. And I will give it some credit. It said, this is actually a song by Weird Al Yankovic. So the dream is intentionally absurd.
Oh, yeah, but robots, they know what's up.
They know what's up. But they're like, but if we treat it like a real dream and interpret the symbolism, there's some interesting psychological themes running through it. So the first theme in it is public embarrassment and exposure, which is revealed in the moments in the dream of shopping in your underwear, being naked in church, and your lips fall off and everybody's staring. So, yeah, those are common things that happen in dreams and things that I think would affect people in their dream world. So far, so good. The next theme is a loss of control. So floating in midair, having your feet nailed to the floor. That line always gets me. I try to move, but my feet have been nailed to the floor. I don't like that line at all. That totally squigs me out. And falling, and then the walls of the closet closing in. So again, those things in the dream represent a loss of control. And apparently the walls closing in imagery is a very common theme in stress dreams. And it's often tied to pressure building in waking life. Yeah, I don't. Do you often remember dreams?
I used to, and I have not for a very, very, very long time. But I used to very much when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't like. I remember dreams every once in a while. I will, you know what? Before I get on to the next theme, I will tell you it was like last week. I think I told you this, and this dog that I'm about to reference is laying on the floor in this room. But I was like in the middle of a dream, and then this dog, Belladonna, decides to throw up.
Oh, yeah.
And so I hear the throwing up noise, but in my dream, something made that noise. So it didn't register to me when I woke up that a dog had thrown up.
Yep. I've had that happen.
So it was like one of those weird, like, am I in conscious space or am I somewhere else kind of moments. It was not good. But the next theme that our friends at Artificial Intelligence have brought up to us is the theme of being chased, with the Russian spies following you. And being chased in a dream often means that you're avoiding a problem or feeling threatened. So
yeah,
this is a very anxious dream that's happening here.
Yep.
The next common dream theme that this pointed out was confusion and identity disruption, which is shown in forgetting your address, the alien jumping out of your chest, or being back in the same place again and again and again. And the revolving door of returning back to where you started is especially symbolic of feeling stuck in cycles. So that's cool. I haven't read any of this ahead of time, which I think is kind of fun. We're just kind of going off of what AI is telling me as it's telling me.
It's funny. It's like the same stuff I read like literally 20 years ago.
That's great. So, I mean, you know, I guess that says something for it, I suppose. I'm really sorry I used a gallon of water to do this, but, you know, here we are. Theme number 5, the main theme, the core recurring symbol, being in the closet with Vanna White. Let's see what it has to say about this. The closest symbolism to that is confinement, secrets, suppressed identity, and feeling trapped in a small psychological space. Vanna White can symbolize game show. So you got that. Letters and language, performance, public image, and, quote, buying a vowel could equal trying to solve something that is incomplete.
Yeah. I mean, like, for as much as I've had the nerve to just go on about all of the ways I've interpreted this, that's literally the one throw off line I've never put any stock into in the entire song. Like, I've literally, my whole life, I've just been like, oh, he just threw that in because of the Vanna of it.
The Vanna of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So according to AI, being, quote, stuck in a closet with Vanna White could symbolically represent feeling trapped in a performance-based life, trying to solve something about yourself.
Yeah.
Being stuck in a game you don't fully understand, and social pressure and confinement. So it says here that the humor undercuts it, but emotionally it's claustrophobic and repetitive. So yeah, I mean, it's and it answers the question, are you going insane? No.
Right.
This reads like anxiety dreams, stress dreams, and just some surreal comedy. And then it asks me for some follow-up questions. If you'd like, tell me, are you asking about the song as art? Are you having similar recurring dreams? Or do you just want a fun psychoanalysis of Weird Al? And I feel like we don't need to ask it any further questions because it did for us what it needed to do. But I like that it was like, I can help you further if you'd like me to help you further. No, thank you. You have done your job. That was fun.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to mention, and I know I've told you this in our personal lives, is of all Weird Al's songs and everything, and I've probably mentioned this on your show before. I know I've mentioned it on the Infectious Group podcast, and you experienced this more than anyone on earth. But because of how passionate I am about music and the ridiculous amount of music I've listened to and the wild amount of different versions of stuff I've listened to, and to give your listeners an idea of what you deal with all the time in life, when I say, like the different versions and stuff that I listen to, we cannot listen to in the car our playlist without any song nearly ever playing without me saying a different lyric or singing a different line or something, and then saying to you, and I'm not talking about Stuck in a Closet, I'm talking about any song by anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Where I sing a different line, or I sing a different guitar part, or I do a different drum beat, and then I say to you, there's this one version of this song from this one time they played it live in Atlanta in 93, where they sang this or whatever, right?
Right, yes.
Yeah. So I have every version of every song stuck in my head all the time, and you're aware of that. Since I got Even Worse in 1988, for no reason, the thing that gets stuck in my head more than anything ever, and I'm talking like Elvis, Pink Floyd, Michael Jackson, all of the rest of Weird Al, I mean, Roger Waters solo material, like I could go on and on and on, like, and I don't even, it's like, your listeners probably like know me to a good extent, but like, I'm not kidding you when I say this. The most random of times since 1988, I will just be in public, in the shower, behind the wheel, doing dishes, whatever else. And in my head or out loud, I will just be like, now I'm being followed by these Russian spies. They give me some Velcro and an order of fries. And like, I know the rest of it, but I have to like say at least that.
That's wild.
It's weird. Like, I cannot tell you why. Like, it's very, like, that sticks in my head. I have been like at Pantera concerts. And I don't mean like in between bands and I'm like getting a beer. I mean like Pantera is playing in my face. And I can hear that in my head. Like it's the weirdest thing. I have no idea why. And like, you know, this is coming from a person who like 2 days ago or within the last week, I told you, I was like, I have no idea why, but I remember Larry stuck in my head right now.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that song in at least, I don't know, 6 or 7 months or something.
Which is a long time for any Weird Al song in this house.
Right. And then later in the same day, I was like almost frustrated because I was like, I don't know why, but I have Hero of the Day by Metallica stuck in my head. And I still, I haven't listened to that song. Like I didn't go listen to it because I had it stuck in my head. Like I haven't listened to that song probably, this is a guess, since like 2012 or something. Like since I was listening to like terrestrial radio and like WRAF in Detroit, Michigan was like playing it like heavily.
Sure.
You know, like it wasn't a current single at the time, but like WRAF doesn't care. They'll play way too much Metallica all the time. So like that's the random type of stuff I get stuck in my head just all the time, you know. But like that one line from this song will just be in my head a lot.
It's one of the reasons I married you, you know.
No, I'm aware.
Yeah, is that you have just the most random of Weird Al lines just in your head constantly.
Well, I mean, yeah, and the other day when it was the middle of the day and we were driving down the road having like I mean this in the best way possible. It was like a very healthy debate about Weird Al pastiches.
Sure.
It was like a solid hour-long discussion in the car.
This is what we do. Kids,
like,
don't settle for anything less than that.
Well, no, it's not even just the fact that it was about Weird Al, but it was the fact that like both of us could cover all of the adjacent artists.
Right.
In the conversation, you know?
Yeah, I think that's super duper cool. Yeah. I had somewhere I was going to go with this. Oh, yeah. So earlier today, we went on to the old YouTubes to see if there were any live versions of the song, because I have seen like 75% of Weird Al's catalog in concert, the songs like at least once. Okay. This is one of the songs that I have not actually seen him perform, but he did it in his own words at about 10% of the Vanity Show tours.
Yeah.
And he introed the song basically by saying that the reason it's a 10%er is because it shreds his voice.
Right.
So he can't do it super duper frequently. So we went ahead and we watched that. And the first thing I want to mention about like any live performance you can catch of this song, especially on any of the Vanity Tour performances of it, is that Jim's having a good time.
Yeah.
Jim's having a really good time.
Yep. Shredding.
You know, adding some stuff to it, you know, having a nice time at it. But I feel like you need to make your point about why it is that this song shreds Al's voice, because the range of it isn't outside of what he normally does.
Well, I mean, for the majority of it, like there's the yeah, and like I mean there are moments in it that are like I couldn't hit most of the screams in it if my life depended on it, but the greater majority of the verses of the song are very much in Weird Al's speaking voice range. But and he could absolutely, if he wanted to, phone the song in and he could do it clean, like with a clean vocal. But he like I mean, he's Weird Al and he's not going to phone it in. So he, at least the live version that we watched, he like put the full like grit into it. And I mean for every word of the song. So like that's what rips up his throat. Is doing that. Yeah.
Doing like, it in that glam.
Yeah. If he wanted to, he could sing the song clean, but like that takes
away from it.
Yeah. Well, I like, again, you know, 75% of the audience isn't going to notice it, but you know me, I'm going to, as soon as we get in the car, I'm going to be like, oh, I'm kind of disappointed he sang Vanna White. I mean, it's neat that he did it, but I'm just kind of disappointed. I mean, no, I'm not trying to insult him. I'm just saying it's, you know me, right? And that's why he's doing it, because he's probably the same way.
Oh, he absolutely is. I mean, this is one of the things that gets said on the show a lot. Weird Al doesn't half-ass anything. Yep. Like, he's not going to do it if he can't whole-ass it.
Right.
So.
Yep. And, but yeah, I was like, that's why I thought, I'm like, as soon as he got through the first verse, I didn't even think about it until he got through the first verse, and I was like, oh yeah, that's totally why he doesn't do it all the time.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he was hitting all the high notes too. So I was like,
Well,
okay.
because he's just beautiful in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you wanted to add about this song?
Not really. My thing is, it's like I said, anybody, this is one of those songs that makes me so overly defensive of Weird Al.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard because you're never going to be able to because I've tried to have objective conversations with people about this and like UHF, and because Weird Al's voice, and I mean this with reverence, but because his voice is so distinctive, you can't have an objective conversation with people about this, because as soon as you play the song, they're just like, is that Weird Al?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah. Whereas like, and I'm not going to go on a huge tangent about this, but like, well, no, listen, you and I have talked about this. Like, there's Warrant material and there's some like mid 90s Kiss material that like you can play for people that are like, oh, I can't stand hair metal, or I can't, Kiss sucks. There's material that sounds different enough that you can play for people and they'll have no idea that it's Warrant,
right?
Or Kiss, and then they'll be like, "This rips," and you're like, "Yeah." Tell me again how much Kiss sucks, and they're like, "Yeah, Kiss is terrible. This rips," and you're like, "You're listening to Kiss, moron."
Yep.
Or like, "Tell me again how terrible Warrant is." "Oh no, man! If Warrant was this good, I'd love them." And you're like, "This is Warrant."
Yeah, poop head.
And you can't do that with UHF or Stuck in a Closet because, and I've tried, because whomever you're trying to have that objective discussion with will immediately voice identify Weird Al. And then when you're trying to have the discussion, they're like, yeah, but still. And you're like, no, if you didn't know that this was Weird Al, you wouldn't be telling me that this would, that this isn't. And if, if you hadn't voice identified him, you would be telling me like, oh man, how do I not know this song? This is rips, and so that's always been a big bummer for me. So that's like, it's one of those things that I get really, really defensive of him on, because there's no way that you can, like I said, with like the Warrant and the Kiss stuff and other things too. Those are just the ones that always come into my, like songs from Chinese Democracy, songs from the Chris Gaines album. These are things I play for people who tell me how bad they are, and then I play them for them, and they're like, oh, man, this kicks ass. And I'm like, tell me again how terrible this is, because you never heard it, it bums me out because with this, there's no way to get my point proven, because people, as soon as they voice identify him, they're just like, yeah, but it's Weird Al, so it's silly. I'm like, nope.
Yep.
So I'm just convinced that it had anyone else recorded this song. Like I said, the biggest compliment I can give this song is that it's track 2 on this album.
Yeah, I mean, first, what a follow-up to Fat. Like,
oh no, I agree. What a great way to, what a great way to. I mean, track listing wise, it's brilliant where it is on the record. But like I say, on this record, it's track 2. It had no chance of being a single for like a million reasons. So it's track 2 on this record. It was never going to be considered for a single, and for any other rock band that year, it would have been the lead single. That's the biggest compliment I can give this song. I think that's totally reasonable. And I agree with you. I mean, this is a great song. It's an absolute, it's a great song. It's one of those ones that's like grown on me. Tell you what I should do with, like with AI these days, I should strip the Weird Al vocal off of it and then have like, I don't know, somebody that would fit. Like the first thing that came to mind was like Steven Tyler, but like somebody, like I say, somebody would fit, like have Bret Michaels sing it, or like somebody that would like. Bret Michaels doesn't have the range. I'm being kind of funny. No. Well, he does have a 1-octave range. But like, well, no, he doesn't have the range for the end of it. No. But anyway, like somebody in that, in that era. Yeah. But and then pass the track around and finally get my way. My God, put Axl Rose on it. But again, back to the lyric content. Oh. You know what I mean? That's fair. Well, But my point is, it would get instantly discounted as AI if I did that. People would be like, "Oh, it's not anything Axl Rose." Rat. Yeah, I mean, sure, that's possible, but we
They
don't
did
have
that commercial.
right. No, it's
I'm being. I know.
no. What I'm
Your
I'm
point
saying,
stands.
we don't have to work through that math problem
No, we
right now.
don't.
But what I'm saying is, like the technology's probably there for me to be able to pull it off now.
Oh man, it is. No, I'm like, oh
Mhm.
man, it is. Okay, see, that's worth the gallons of water that'll take. I'll buy that. I love that. I would be remiss on a show like this if I didn't also mention that in Naked Gun 33 and a third, Weird Al does spend some time in a closet with Vanna White.
Yeah.
So just know that I know that. You don't have to come at me and be like, why didn't you mention the Vanna White in Naked Gun? Because there you have it. So that already happened. Oh boy. So we've covered this song, yes?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
All right. So we have next time we're gonna hit track 3 on Even Worse, and we have a
An extremely poorly written song.
Oh, I know. There's like the lyrical content is I don't know what we're gonna do about it.
Yeah. Well, I've been waiting a very long time to really levy some complaints I've had for a long time with Weird Al about the lyrics of this song.
I'm excited about it.
Track 3.
Yeah.
Like I usually don't like talk ahead. But I'm very sore that he didn't write any more. And that's all I'm going to say until next week.
So we get here. And y'all are in for a treat the next time because we have the one, the only, you know him and we all love him, UH Jeff. He will be here hot on the tour for the Titan Nerdy documentary.
Mm-hmm.
So he has graciously made time to pull over here to the Beard L podcast and talk a little bit of 6 Words Long with us. So that'll be fun next time. But I think that's done it for here today. So hopefully tonight, when you go to sleep, you don't dream about being stuck in a closet with Vanna White. And also, this is how I'm ending the show from now on, people. Be kind, bring joy, repeat. Bye.
Very nice.